Okay, ladies, I wanted to go through the Magic Eraser again. There's been some changes since the last time that I did one. There's been updates to the app. There has been some new things that I've found out that we can do with it. So I'm just going to make a new one. I'm hoping to make this just a few minutes long so that it's not too long for you guys that want to see. So I am going to create an image out of my PDF. So if you don't know how to do that, you screenshot your PDF and create an image out of it. And then you're just going to adjust it for the page that you want to use. You have to have an image or a JPEG, whatever form you have, in order to use MagicEraser. So I'm going to hit done, save it to my photos. I will save these all to my files later. That's not the point of the whole thing. So we are going to do this, and then we're going to go find MagicEraser. And that's the one I was working on just a minute ago. Okay, so we're going to pull up photos. And I picked this one because I wanted to show you a few things, okay? I know that we have had problems with when you first start using MagicEraser and get into there, it automatically just like erases your background. It gets really tiring having to redo that. So actually there's a way to fix that. So you're going to go up to these two little bubbles here. And you're going to select, see at the top it says default resolution, keep original. That's what we want to do. Enable auto erase. When they updated it, this was on. So when you would go in there, it would just automatically delete the background, and then you'd have to back button it and then go in and do the things you wanted to do. So you just come into these two little buttons here at the top, and you're going to click that off. And I always want it to center my image because I don't want it to be one side or the other. That's it. Done. Okay. Now we can go in here, and you just keep it. It says custom, but that's because we shrunk the screenshot down, so it's always going to say custom when you do that. I'm going to hit done. So this is what it looks like. Okay. Now there's a couple of different things. We want to go to wand because that's how we erase. Now there's a couple of different ways to do this. Originally, this is the only way I knew how to do it, is you would just click on the white part of it and it would delete that background. But in the spots that had things, you would still have to come through here and click all of this off and make it clear so that you guys could have the color come through. If you want the white, you can leave it there. That's totally up to you. I like it to be completely clear, just because it makes it easier. So now, here's what I didn't catch earlier. Okay, see how this little mouse here, his color's gone. Okay, so now we have to go through and go back to the original. So I'm hitting this back button here all of the times I just erased it because I usually look for this and I didn't. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. So I'm just going to go through and we're going to touch the background like we did before. Now, in order to change him, okay, and keep an eye on your mouse, okay, in order to change him, I'm going to go down here to this tolerance button. It's a slide across the bottom, okay. Now, you have to do this right after you do the background because the first time you click on something, it null and voids this. You can't fix the mouse once he's there. It always starts at 20%. That's where it's always going to be when you come into GoodNotes or into MagicEraser, is at 20%. So you're just going to click on it anywhere on the slide and you're going to make the numbers go smaller. So you're going to slide it to the right. And as you do that, let's watch your monkey, okay, or your mouse. Now, as we get the number smaller, it's going to start filling him back in. The minute that you notice he's all there, you want to stop. Because if you don't, well, it looks like we're missing a piece of his ear there a little bit. So we're just going to keep going until we get there. Okay, I'm going to stop right there. Now, here's what that does, okay? Now, I'm going to show you this two different ways. So we know we're at 6% now that we have the whole mouse back, okay? But what it does is it creates these little white fuzzy lines around like the tree. There's a bunch around all of these little numbers, if you can see them. Okay, and it created more white spaces. So there is another way to do that. and still get as much around all of the images as you can taken away. So I'm going to erase that. We're going to erase everything, go back to 0. So this is like starting with a new picture, okay? So see, it starts at, normally we'll start at 20 if you come in here brand new. So if you know you have lighter images, okay, and you know that it's going to try to take some of those images away, you can automatically turn down the temperance before you even do a thing. So I always put it to 10. We know that it, and then I can adjust it after I erase the background. But see, even just adjusting it to 10, it didn't take all of the mouse away. It took away a little bit of this ear right here, okay? But it took away some of those other those white things around the letters and the tree and stuff. So you're not seeing as many of those. So you can still go back and try to fill in this and hope that it doesn't create all this other white stuff. I'm going to go back to 10, and I'm going to show you a little trick that I found not very long ago. So we're going to pull them open, and we know that needs to be white. So we're going to hit this restore button, okay? And I'm going to pick my size. It'll tell you how big it is. Okay, you can make it really big, you can make it really small. It goes really tiny, and I don't want it that small. I want it right about there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go back in through here, and I'm going to restore that white that was taken out from the mouse's ear. Okay, then I don't have to pull my temperance down anymore, and it's not going to create more of that white around the images. So that one little spot, let me see, make sure there's nothing else that we need to restore, and we might find something as we go through here. So now we still have all of the white. We're gonna go back here and hit okay, so now that we've done something, I'm gonna hit this little spot right there at the tree. Now I'm gonna put this back up to 20, because when we clear in between here, we want it to clear all the way to the lines. We don't want it to just clear part of it. So we're just going to click these buttons, and it's going to be back up to what we normally did, okay? And sometimes you can come in here and clean this up if you would like. It's going to just really depend on how much you want to not be seen. I'm okay sometimes with the little jagged edges. Some people are not. So you can just pretty much come through here and clean these up and get it right down to the lines if you want. Okay, totally up to you on how much you want to do. Sometimes I'm just in a hurry and I don't really care about these, and sometimes I know what's going on, so whatever I'm putting it on will cover that up, but others don't like it so much. So that's what we're gonna do. Okay, that's what you can do, just for reference. And yes, sorry, I go in, zoom in and zoom out a lot. Okay, so then you're going to make sure that you get in between all of your letters if you want them to be clear, and right here in between those two words. So sometimes you have to get in between the individual letters and clear out some of that stuff, and that's from us moving the temperance down when we first started. Okay, and then we're going to clear that one out. Come in here with all these letters and clear these out. Clear out around his tail. Ooh, we lost a little bit of his tail, so we're going to just pull it back. Okay. So, and then that's when you have to get in here and get all of these if you want them. And the reason I love digital is because when I was fussy cutting all of these by hand, I would not get in here and get a lot of the stuff, and it would still be white. And sometimes, honestly, that would irritate me some. But I can clean all of that up. Okay, so it looks like it's all cleaned up. Now, the other way, it looks like we lost his face again. I wonder how we did that. I can't just put it back in there. Anyway, I'm going to do something else anyway. So we're going to go back. I'm just going to X out of here and start all over. So that's just the fastest way to pull this up, get back in here. You can go to this. Okay, so you had area. That's what we did last time. Then you have color. This is going to remove all of the white in your entire thing, which means it's going to remove a lot of your coloring. You can pull your temperance back and it'll fill a lot of that in. If you notice, like, okay, let's go back to 20% where it was. So what I took out is right here, all this white in the tree. It took all of that out. It took all of the white out inside of your flowers, okay? And it took out a lot of these coloring, the lighter coloring. Now with your temperance, you can pull like your snail and your stuff, you can pull that back in, okay? But you're still not going to, unless, there we go, we got most of it. The mouse's face is not completely. And then we have this issue here again when you do that, is you have all of this, let me go back to area only. You have all of this extra stuff around the flowers. If you have something that is just pretty much black and white, and let me see if I can find a photo that's just pretty much black and white. Sorry, I have a lot of things in here that they'll probably work on this one. Okay. So we're going to go back in here and we're going to hit the one in area. If we just want all of the white gone, you're just going to hit that. And it's going to even take it out of the letters. It's got the whole background. And this is like the super fastest way to do around this. If you're trying to clean out all of the, if you're trying to do a scripture thing and you want to do, get the white out from behind the scripture so that you can use it in your digital journaling. That's the fastest way to do that. All the black will stay, all of the white from in between all of the letters and numbers and all of that just disappears. Okay, so here, I'm just going to do this. We're going to hit the restore because I want the letters or the words to actually have white in them. So we're just going to pretty much go over the top of these and restore the white inside of that. So if you open it up, you can definitely tell there's no see-through things in there anymore. And let's do these ones. Oops. Okay. So that's pretty much it. And those are the basics. But if you have any other questions, I'm going to go ahead and save this one since it's done already. Save. Okay. And then just back to home. So just let me know if you have any other questions, comments, anything that you would like me to see if I can find that might work for something. Just give me a shout out. Have a blessed night. Love you all. Bye.